They call me the father of his country. My face is printed on your currency, carved into the cliffs of Mount Rushmore, and my name graces the capital of this nation. But behind the cold marble statues and the sanitized myths, I was just a mortal man of flesh and blood. I am George Washington. Today, reaching across 2.5 centuries, I want to tell you my story in my own words, not as the flawless deity in your textbooks, but as an ordinary man who trembled in the fires of war, hesitated in the face of power, and ultimately entrusted his destiny to the hands of liberty. I was not born great. In my youth, I was an ambitious young Virginian, desperate for military glory and recognition. During the French and Indian War, I made fatal mistakes and tasted bitter, humiliating defeat. The musket balls that whizzed through those frontier forests terrified me, but they also taught me reverence. I learned early on that true courage is not the absence of fear, but the will to draw your sword and step forward despite it. When the fires of independence ignited, I was thrust into the role of Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army. Do you know the weight of that burden? Facing the British Empire, the most powerful military machine on earth, I led a ragtag militia of farmers and blacksmiths, men without uniforms, without food, sometimes without even shoes. During that long, brutal winter at Valley Forge, watching my men leave bloody footprints in the snow, I wept alone in my tent and prayed to Providence. Countless times, we were on the verge of total collapse. Countless times, I believed our revolution would end with my neck in a hangman's noose for treason. But we held on. Not because I was a brilliant tactician, but because the yearning for freedom in the hearts of those ordinary soldiers was more resilient than the harshest winter. After the victory at Yorktown, there were those who wished to crown me king. Power is an intoxicating poison. But I did not draw my sword to overthrow one British monarch only to replace him with an American one. I surrendered my military commission and returned to my beloved Mount Vernon. It was the proudest moment of my life. I knew that for this fragile new republic to survive, someone had to prove that absolute power could be willingly surrendered. Yet, the country called upon me once more. The chair of the first president was not a comfortable one. Every decision, every single action I took, set a precedent for all who would follow. I navigated the growing fractures between North and South, and I grew deeply weary of the endless bickering of political factions. After 2 terms, I chose to walk away once again. I left you with a farewell address, warning you to beware the destructive spirit of party and the entanglements of foreign alliances. Now, looking upon your era, at this massive, chaotic, yet vibrantly alive nation, I am both comforted and concerned. My time has long passed. I made mistakes, and I was bound by the deep flaws and limitations of my own era. But the seed we planted, called a republic, has grown into a towering tree. Remember, the foundation of this tree is not built upon any single great man, but upon every ordinary one of you. Guard her well. That is your sacred duty, and it is the final charge I leave to you.